I want you to stay with me. I want you to stay, don't leave. I want you to walk with me. I want you to walk with me.
1 2 1 2. Tuesday night between Sundays. Tune in. Let's go.
I want you to talk with me. I want you to talk, talk with me.
Song by Paris, the late Paris Bowen. Stay with me. Ladies and gentlemen, we are headed for yet another snowstorm. Quick word from Keith Pelzer only. This is not the viewpoints or interests of Darian Brister nor Jay Morris, but I'm just saying this whether they agree or not or whatever their input is. I'll say this in case somebody gets mad at it. Hey, y'all good out there? Because some services might get canceled.
Facts.
And some people is counting on that bread this weekend. Hey, shout out to the people that got their stuff in order where in case of the inevitable. And and then shout out to the churches that are saying like, hey, we're canceling, but we still gonna pay you. You've been good to us. You've been there, and we really thank you. And so this is why you always show yourself caring in season and out of season, because for most people, they don't have a contract or a written rule where it's like, hey, you get paid even if the weather jacks it up. Some churches are dependent upon the offering to pay you. Worship leaders, singers, band, sound person, whatever, security, the offering is how they're living from, offering to offering, and you get paid out of that offering. For some people, they have it. And then, but if they don't have a promise or an agreement, they just like, oh, we not having service, so you don't expect a check.
Yeah.
But then other people are like, hey, we value people that are in ministry with us. This is a job. This is call it gig ministry. It's the gig that you minister in, and it's a job. Man, woman's worthy of their hire. We got that established. However, it's a snowstorm. We're not having service, but we're going to make sure that you still get paid. Amen. So if you are in that position that, they say we're not having it, and you don't even have a promise agreement, but they still pay you, be kind and remember those things. Remember those people that have the call, or just thank God that maybe it was somebody in the cut that says, hey, we still want to make sure you taken care of. We really appreciate you. All right. So I'm just throwing that out there because I've been in that situation many times where it was like, yo, I need these two services this week, or I need them to call me to preach. And you looking at the snowstorm like, what?
Look, here's the thing, pals. And even if they can't pay you all of it, pay you half.
Exactly. Do something. Give me a little gas money. Like, hey, I know you came down. Nobody came to church. Hey.
But look, shout out to the churches that canceled tonight. It was like, we already know it's coming. Listen, we want to make sure you find something.
Look, Angel in the mix. Angel in the mix, she like, bless those churches because there ain't many. I agree. I agree.
There ain't many. You ain't lying about that.
So let me just be clear. I'm not shaming anybody that doesn't do it, but I'm saying on both ends, thank you to those churches that set it up where you do consider that. And you put a lot of people on payroll at ease to know, like, yo, you don't have to go into a frenzy and worry about, trying to make a way. So don't be scared if we say, hey, for the safety, we're not having service. We don't want you panicking like, yo, I can't pay my phone bill if we don't have service. Because at that point, you mad with the church and you mad with God who controls the weather and saying, Lord, you wasn't looking out because I needed that 500 this weekend. So churches do better. And for us in the music ministry department, be mindful of that and show your kindness. And if it's not reciprocated, hey, it's okay. But at least you understand when you make moves and stuff, show people what you offer and give wholeheartedly in season and out of season. So that when that time comes, everybody's pretty much doing the right thing. I give it over to Darian and Jay. All right. Shout out to my girl Angel. What's going on, homie? And yo, that picture, them pictures with Enoch.
Yo, don't get me on it.
I'm done with y'all. I was like,
and she's not here to defend herself, so I'm not gonna really go in on it.
I was like, yes. I was like, what am I looking at? And I was like, never mind.
I said,
Deacon fuss a lot.
No, you're not. No, Deacon fuss a lot.
I seen the authors on that.
I said, cover them
all. Co-writers and stuff. I was like, oh, I get it now. Take it over, guys.
All right, guys. Welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome
Between Sundays. Tonight is episode 63.
Yep.
Again, we're a platform where we offer perspectives of the modern church ministry operation and the many nuances therein from the lens of worship arts and multimedia personnel. Last few weeks been a very interesting conversation surrounding the ministry versus gig.
God is good for gigs.
God is good.
God is good.
Very interesting.
Hallelujah.
Now, if you're tuned in right now and you don't mind, please share this to your page, tag someone who you might think would be good in the conversation, add to the conversation, share it to a group you think it may want to hear and give something to the conversation. Now, I want to take what might be an interesting turn tonight as we kind of wrap this up. And we're doing something we used to do regularly where we would highlight a comment from a previous episode. All right. And so we're going to highlight this comment from Thursday's episode, which came in from a great friend of the show, Pastor Felix Morgan Jr. All right. And here's what the comment said. Comment was, pastors don't ask for membership anymore because most musicians are hired. They're not joining. Let me read that one more time. Pastors don't ask for membership anymore because most musicians are hired. They are not joining. Now, if you've been with us for a while, you might remember we had a comment way back. I think that was from good friend of the show, Dave Bell. And his comment, if I remember it correctly, it asked, when's a good time for a church to approach a musician or music personnel about becoming a member? And I think we spent a whole episode on that one. But we're at this one, which has, I think, a little different nuance to it. Jay, I'm coming your way first. But the first question I have as it relates to this comment is really based on the last sentence, that they're not joining. Why?
That's a good question.
They don't need to.
What's your thoughts, bro?
Well, for real, as just as Pal said, like, okay. If I can, let's consider this. I work at a 9-to-5. I don't consider the people that I work for my family. or I don't consider them willing to risk life and limb, should I say,
Mm-hmm.
for my safety. I'm hired to do a job. I mean, let's just be honest.
Yep.
It's as you say, a transaction. There's something given and there's a pay. So I understand for those that do desire to join, I have no issue with you. God bless you. However, the lines can get blurred when there is a membership talk with the musicians that you've hired. Because now you have a situation where there needs to be hard conversations if things are not going as they should. Because now you figure membership, now you've asked to be, as we said last week, pastored.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that you gave this man or woman permission to seek God on your behalf for your soul salvation. So now that you've done that, when things aren't going the way that you think they should go, or that the pastor don't think they should go, or when you feel like ministering after he preach or she preach, when those things happen, now you have to have a conversation and you have to decipher whether that's God or whether that's flesh. And it's very hard sometimes to tell between the two, because now this man has also hired you. So there's a Angel used to say, you are in business with a ministry component.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, how you business with a ministry component?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning you can still be fired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you can still be fired from the job, you have to be careful. Now, now, do you have some ministers of music and some musicians that have taken on father figures? Cool. I'll make sure that I put that out. I'm not saying anything about that. That is wonderful. But that's not everybody's testimony on that.
Mm-hmm.
Most, I would say 70% of musicians do not join because they don't want to blur those lines. And most of us, if I can speak freely, have joined a ministry and the lines got blurred. Come on, if we want to be honest, most of us have joined a ministry because we felt comfortable enough. But when the situation got tightened and the pastor wasn't happy with whatever, it now became business.
Yeah.
And less about our salvation. So that's what I mean when he says, okay, well, pastor don't ask for membership anymore because musicians are hired. They're not joining. Well, it's a reason why. And the reason why is it's hard to trust that you won't, like, come on, who wants to put their heart out on the table for somebody just to smash it with a hammer?
Yeah.
No, seriously, can we talk about it for a minute?
Yes, we can.
Who wants to put their heart out on the table? Musicians have feelings. We are people too. We are not robots. We are not robots that you just press play and we play. And you could just say whatever you want to say and do whatever you want to do and think that it's just going to work like that.
Hey, Jay, you know what? On the line of where you at, as you were speaking, I thought about something. So the opposite kind of happened for me. The problem was when I gave space so I'm paying a musician, but they desired, and it was equal, okay, you're a part of the ministry, right? The issue in that becomes, now we're hearing you, and I think Corinthia said some expectations changes, and they want you to go along with anything, right? I agree with 100%, but I've seen that go both ways.
Yeah.
So we're paying you well, You're cool with what we paying. Your check guaranteed every week, whether it's snow, hail, sleet, somebody gets sick, people show up, whatever, don't show up, you getting paid. You got your bag. You and the drummer getting your money. But because I let you be involved in a ministry sense, now you want to be heard on, I think you should do this. And I think you should do, this is what's wrong with the praise team. See, if you just hired, it's like you do your job well and I pay you well, not on some dictatorship. Because now it comes back down to relationship. Everybody's not Darian and Jay, right? You got some knuckleheads that don't have a marital structure, a father structure, nothing. That's like, you know what? You need to let them do this or let so-and-so. And it's like, that's because you smashing sis. So I'm sorry, we just want to be candid here.
Oh, absolutely.
So now you talking out of your flesh, not your spirit, and you're masking it in, allow musicians to be in ministry. And I'm like, that doesn't work that way. I think if you're hired at a church and you decide to join, right? Because you like it, you decide. You're not forced to join, because being forced to join, it could, and let me shut up. I just wanted to insert, I've seen it go both ways. I'm agreeing with you 100% what you said, Jay, but I've seen it where it went bad.
Real quick, pals.
Go for it.
So here's the thing. Angel said it right. Seriously. You have to remember, also, a lot of times those expectations, you just said it, those expectation changes.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you, like, it's a relationship. And like any relationship, when you get familiar, their expectations also change.
Boom, here it is. You supposed to buy anniversary tickets. You supposed to go on a trip. You know. So your whole check going.
Yeah.
Like now,
hold on. How many? Like, come on. Like seriously.
Right.
So it starts with the expectations, but then, like you said, Pels, on both sides, you have situations where it could be abused.
Yes.
And those expectations and those now the trust is down the drain. How many times have we seen? It's personally happened to me, but we've seen where we have joined, and the pastor would get up there. I need 50 people with $100.
Yep.
We're gonna start with our musicians because we know what I will just take it out y'all check.
Yeah.
Don't make me cuss on this mic right here. I didn't sign up for that.
And because
part.
you want to be a minister, we're ministers of music, right?
What
happens when it's like, yo, we got to show leadership got to do it first. So now
right.
You want to be recognized as ministerial equalness.
Right.
So what you got to be careful, because if that ministry is always looking for the dollar,
right.
They looking at y'all too. Like, and the drummer sitting there looking like, I ain't asked to be.
Right. So now you're pressured.
Right.
And it's like, even though he didn't say you're fired if you don't do it.
Right.
But now you're in front of the entire...
You look cheap.
Exactly. So you're in front of the entire congregation, and you have now been put pressure on for you to do this task. And without him really knowing your situation, you may have to pay your electric bill to keep your light on.
Yeah.
But now you've already been pressured about this, even if it was just a front.
Yeah.
Our musicians are there. I just said that, Doc. That's just not. Still, it's put out there, because I've had that happen too. It's been put out there now, and you make, for the sake of what you're trying to raise, you put me under the guillotine. Go ahead, D. I'm sorry. And
they always look to the Hammond first.
Brother, don't they?
It could be 20 musicians in the corner. It's like, I know as a preacher.
If I'm going to spend 100, I'm going to spend 100 to get this Leslie switch fixed. How about that?
Amen musicians looking right at the Hammond. It's like, it's a whole band over there. No, I've never seen a pastor look at the bass player for responsibility.
Look, we got 4 musicians. That's at least $400 over there we got. We already got our 5 right there. I'll get the 1. Our musicians get the 4. We got 500 right there. Come on, we got it.
If a Negro is on the North, they always look at the Hammond first. It's always the Hammond first. Like, get your crew together and y'all put up some money. Hey, don't the trustee always come to the organ first?
They
They never go to. They go straight to the organ first.
They go to the organ for the offering. They go to the organ for the communion.
Oh yeah.
It's always the organist.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to the Hammond Beat 3 players.
So no, you all right.
Help us.
No, you guys are good. I love.
Bring us back in, Doc.
I love where this is going. I want to ask two very thought-provoking questions tonight.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to ask them both at the same time. But I want to ask two very thought-provoking questions as it pertains to this comment. If you're just joining us, thank you for joining us. I see a lot of people. I'm going to shout out some watchers shortly. But again, we are revisiting a comment from Thursday's episode as we were talking about the ministry versus gig dynamic. Mm-hmm. And so the comment was, pastors don't ask for membership anymore because most musicians are hired. They're not joining. Mm-hmm. So here's my first thought-provoking question. Is at the time of what most of us either call or know as the call to discipleship, or the opening the doors of the church. Mm-hmm. At that point, or some even call it the invitation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At that point in the worship experience or service, have either of you, Jay or Pels, have either you remember an instance where the person who was doing the invitation, Angel just said, or the appeal, do you remember an instance where the person doing the invitation, whether that was the pastor, minister, whatever, do you remember an instance where that person saw individuals mm-hmm. in the congregation that they knew were not members of the church mm-hmm. and said to them, hey, brother, do you want to join the church right now? Mm-hmm. Hey, sister, do you want to join the church? Have you seen instances where, they're pointing people out? Mm-hmm. And asking them, do you want to join the church? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because I feel like that's kind of the dynamic when we talk about the musician that's been hired, the praise and worship leader that's been hired, even, the audio or video operator that's been hired. Mm-hmm. And then we kind of try to bring up the conversation about joining the church.
Wow.
I feel like that's the dynamic. And here is my point. My point is, we don't see that commonly during the appeal, the invitation, where, they're going up to someone again that they know is not a member of the church. Mm-hmm. They know it's just, visiting. They suspect maybe they're not even, a believer.
Right.
All right. Mm-hmm. But are they going to them and say, hey, I know you don't have a church home, or I know you're not a member here. Do you want to join the church? Mm-hmm. And that's not normally how it happens.
Right.
No, there is just a blanketed open invitation. Mm-hmm. Why? Because the desire is that the Lord moves on that person's heart.
Right.
So why is that different? Mm. Why is that different when it comes to the person you hired?
Mm. Wow.
What? It seemed like we don't have the patience mm-hmm. for the Holy Spirit to work in that area.
No, no, they don't. No.
Wow. That's what it seems like to me. Mm-mm. Is it because they're hired? I'm trying to find what the line is. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. What the differentiation to where, again, it's common, if not 99.9% of the time, that, again, during the invitation, call, discipleship, appeal, opening the doors of the church, that the person that is performing that or administering that is not going up to someone that they know is not a member of the church and asking them directly, do you want to join the church today?
Bro.
You got thoughts, Pels? Jump in.
Yeah, you know what? So I'm looking at Niche, what's going on? Darren always does the shouting out. So you, Dave, I see Dave Bell here. But Julian, oh my gosh, this is long, but you hit it. I mean, I think we need to unpack this joint. This is crazy, right? Does the church have a culture of raising up creatives, right? And if not, if the church doesn't have that culture, right, then you always going to have contracted musicians, he's saying. Right? He says we have a supply and the church has a demand. And even worse, you picky about who you hire when the budget doesn't have the threshold for the caliber of musicians being asked for, especially if you stream. We're at a day and age that even the problem with, I'm not going to get into the whole Drewski thing, but when just the way even that small percentage of mega churches are, the smaller churches are looking at it. It's like artists today. Me and my experience in the music industry, when we used to go in the studio and make records, it was rarely. The guys that I worked with, that whole neo soul touch of jazz stuff, we were different because we ignored what was popular while we respected it. Churches now are different where they could have 10 members, but they basically try so hard to be like 2819, Jamal Bryant's ministry and so on. So they see it that way. So even to the band, they start with that mentality. Addressing what Julian's saying, it's like that is going. We talked about it. Jay and Darian talked about it a while back about we don't raise the musicians in church. It's almost like it's no room for it. Right? It's not really room for it. Like you don't see musicians that really just sit down and they're available, or the church doesn't even allow. If a Jay said, hey, I'm going to dedicate one Sunday out of the month and I'm just going to be here after service for 2 hours on the organ. If whosoever will, let them come and I'll teach. So the church is not raising up creatives as far as I see. They're raising up, like, it's like football teams now. Like the football team in college, they don't sit there and say, we're going to train your kid how to play. It's either you know how to play, you really want it, or you ain't getting on the team. So it's a dog eat dog world. So it's all competitive now. And so now what we're doing is we don't have space for the I want to give it a try or I want to develop. We don't have time for you to develop. It's showtime. So we don't have time. If you're not playing the right chords when the preacher get up, you can't play because we're streaming and everybody's watching. So if I don't play and back E. Dewey Smith, shout out to Darian, play for E. Dewey Smith, there's no grace for me to play behind the Dewey Smith right now if I don't know what I'm doing. So we don't have that space because we've gotten to the point of we need the people that know exactly what they're doing. We can't fail at this because we've become such a production-oriented place that, no, we don't really have the space for raising creatives like we used to. They get raised outside of the church.
Can I add something to what you just said?
Go for it.
And then, Jay, I'm coming right to you. But to what you just said, Pels, how many times do we hear, I really need an anointed musician?
Right.
I really need a musician that understands how to flow in the prophetic.
I like that.
Here it is.
Praise God. Praise
said it.
God. I need an anointed musician in the house.
But, okay, and why do I bring that up? Because, again, that expectation, it takes up the room
Right.
for development.
Yep.
If you have to have it a certain way, every service,
Yep.
it's got to be a certain way. It's got to be a certain. There is no, as Rakeem said, there is no. And I saw that. Angel,
I'll put a little star next to it.
Angel, I brought up that
I'ma save
question last night. In our conversation, we got a series coming called Church Membership. But yeah, it chews up that development space. Or as with Rakeem, when he was last on, he called it a safe stage.
Right.
where you can actually develop. And that, again, that don't necessarily mean it's not it's not a actual service. Maybe it's not a every Sunday thing for development. But yeah, there's got to be space for developing.
Gotta be.
But
Yep.
when there's all these expectations, to what you said, Pels, when there's all these expectations, well, where does the development go?
Yeah.
Jay.
You know, what's crazy is we have learned that, well, I have learned that churches today, the last 10 years, you know, most that I've worked with and been to have not been patient.
Mm.
The churches are in, it seems that they're in competition to try to outstream. Because ever since the streaming has happened, ever since, as we say, production,
Mm-hmm.
it almost cut out the learning process.
Yeah.
That's good.
You and I,
That's good.
all three of us, learned by getting on either after service,
Mm-hmm.
at a rehearsal, falling flat on our face, and getting back up on the organ seat and trying it again.
Yeah.
We have made flat fails in service from either a key we wasn't familiar in, and we learned on the spot
Mm-hmm.
how to work that, how to maneuver. As D said last week, there's certain things you can't be taught. You have to experience it and learn how to maneuver in your own lane.
Mm-hmm.
He can't teach you any of that. He can say it,
Yeah.
but when it comes down to how to flow, it's a trial and error. You know by your failure. That's the only way you're going to learn. And when you have productions all the time, like you said, it takes the time away from being able to have the young people, even the girls, get on the drums.
Yeah.
Get on the drums, get on the organ, get on bass. You don't see many females on bass.
Correct.
Get on the bass, give them a chance. We don't have that open because our productions and our streams don't really allow for error.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's really what is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Back when me and you and Pels was young, we had people that we had mentors that watched over us, but they gave us room for error.
Yeah.
We were set up in those services.
And can I just throw this in here real quick, because I'm a proponent that some of these issues that we're talking about, it's not so much the live stream aspect. It's just the expectation that people have put alongside of live streaming.
Right.
So it's like, because we're live streaming, we have this particular expectation as if, there cannot be any imperfections.
Right,
on live
but
stream.
it's the mindset, like you said, it's the mindset behind it. Let's just be honest. There's certain things that we do that give us an ego. It is what it is. Like you said, no, it's not the thing of live streaming, but our mindset behind it.
Yes.
Oh, it has to be held
Yes.
to this certain standard. That means there's an ego behind it.
Mhm.
Well,
Go ahead, Pels.
you know what happens? Look, so I'll be transparent with this. I had a young musician at the church that, and this is not picking on him. I was just shout out to my brother, Dr. Cartwright, Brother Cartwright. Okay. From a pastor standpoint of view, because I grew up as a minister of music and a musician, I felt as though I had the discernment of seeing you just want to be seen on the keys and you want to develop. It wasn't about if you got it or not. You could want to get it, but I was able to discern, are you genuine in that? And the way I knew was, when you try and play a simple song and you ain't nailing it, you just want to be seen, right? So I'm like, it's old school. Like, if they give you a chance, but if you just jump on the drums and you try to do rudiments, they like, you're not ready yet, baby. You're not flowing in the spirit. Sit down for a minute. We did give you a chance. So my point is, before streaming was really doing it, I had a concern about you're not going to eat up the service trying and you not really trying. I'm testing you because when I'm trying to show you where you went wrong with the song, when I'm showing you your ear is not there, that's the wrong key. You didn't want to take time to learn it after the service, but you ready to jump on when it's service and it's a crowd. I ain't worried about cameras yet. Now we're showing people outside what we're doing.
Right.
And the bad thing is when two things. If you advertise what you can't deliver, in other words, you show me a good service and I come in and I'm like, oh, that was just for Easter. Number one. Then on the flip side, I'm trying to ask you to come in, but you showing me all the shenanigans on the camera. I don't want to come there. You just help me to see. It's like Yelp. We Yelp churches now. Right? We check out the star rating. We make our own star rating if we going to see if we going to drive to Philly to the restaurant. Let's see what the other reviews said. Or let me see it for myself. No. So this whole culture, I agree with you, Darren. It's not just limited to live streaming, but you know, when you got said ministries we talked about, they got the sound is dope. You're like, woo, the singing, the mic, oh, the mix is great. Listen to what we say. The mix sound great. So when you scroll, and unless it's a preacher that you want to hear, good time, bad time, if that mix ain't right, you're going to scroll on. So there's not really room. So I think something that Jay said, there needs to exist the gathering space that is not contingent upon production quality.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So all of these up and coming bishops and ordination services and God knows what, and y'all ain't invite me to preach. Negro, go find a hall and do a service, and whosoever will, let them come. And then do that and stop trying to live stream every darn thing. Like, just go ahead and give people the space to grow. Last thing, Fort Memorial. Fort Memorial to me was like if your church didn't provide that space, you could go to a fort and at least learn. And if you practice enough, you get a chance. I don't see that right now. I don't see it because even when they do the sheds now, the sheds is competition.
It's true. Let me shout out some watchers. Then we're gonna come back to this. Then we're gonna come back to this conversation. Julian Brissett, my sister Mrs. Morris is in the building. First Corinthian Nicole. Andre Cartwright, Niche Rose, we mentioned earlier, Tiffany Anderson, Dave Bell, Tremaine Dunlap, Nick Hill, who else do I see? Marquishaw Cotman, Tina Green, Josh Gilmore, James Lewis.
That's why I love this guy.
Thank you all for tuning in. Pinky Speaks.
That's true, Dre.
Thank you for tuning in.
That's why I love the Cartwrights. Come on, preacher.
Marvin Harris Jr. Thank you for tuning in. Dave Johnson, Michael Purnell. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Please don't be shy. You know, tag somebody, share it to your page, share it to a group. Here's my second thought-provoking question. While I set it up, Pels, are you able to put the comment that we're talking about on screen?
Is it one from today or last week?
That was the last week one that we started the conversation about.
I have to type it over.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Screenshot? You got a screenshot?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay.
So again, talking about a comment that came in while we were dialoguing on Thursday. Again, the central topic is the ministry versus gig conversation that's been populating social media as of recent. And the comment said, pastors don't ask for membership anymore because most musicians are hired. They're not joining. Now, as mentioned in some comments by Julian Brissett, he talked about culture and, and we also talked about there being a lack of development. So that also can be a key component when we look at because most musicians are hired.
Right.
But here's my other thought-provoking question. And it comes from Jay, what you kind of started us out with tonight. All right. And, you started us out with, that line, those lines getting blurred.
Yeah.
When we talk about someone that you're hiring at your church,
Right.
either becoming a member, being a member, or being pastored.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So here's my next thought-provoking question. Have any of us pastors, ministerial staff, executive leadership of churches, and the creatives, musicians, ministers of music, praise and worship leaders or praise leaders, worship leaders, tech directors,
Mm-hmm.
audio engineers and technicians, creative directors when it comes to graphics and things of that nature. Have any of us thought about what it would look like if, and I'm gonna draw two parallels. Have any of us thought about what would it look like if the church that I got hired at and I became a member had to remove me from the area they hired me for? Have we thought about what that dynamic would look like? Have we also thought about, here's a parallel, have we also thought about the dynamic of the church that I was hired at and became a member? I decided for myself I needed to step down from what they hired me for. Because notice on both sides, I didn't say anything about withdrawing membership.
Right. Right.
So again, on the one side, it's, again, the church that I was hired at and I'm a member of.
Right.
They needed to remove me from the area that they hired me in. And then the other side is the church that I, again, was hired to play for and I'm a member of. I decided I needed to remove myself and step down from the area that they hired me for. What does that look like? What does that aftermath look like? That either removed or removed myself, but I'm still a member of the church. What does that look like?
Well, to be honest with you, I believe that we saw that in clearly when one of our colleagues a few months ago, real famous minister of music, left the church of 30 plus years of service.
Yep.
And you know, it gave off a assumption that it wasn't a two-way street happening.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that was his church, that he, was a member of it, being there 30 plus years.
Yeah.
However, from what I gathered, he was not the option wasn't there for him to stay and still be in that and not be in that position.
Correct.
God damn.
When people have looked at you as a leader for that many years, and I know this personally, you could step foot inside the sanctuary and they could have somebody else up there, but they will stare right at you because they're used to your leadership, especially when you have trained them well musically.
Yeah.
There used to be a guy called Harry Woodhouse Harris, God rest his soul, had the Grace and Truth delegation. He was a stickler. Matter of fact, I'll go even further with you. Wilmington, Chester, Mass, Ernie Davis. It was hard for anybody to come in there and teach because as soon as Ernie stepped in, everybody was like Army. Ernie ain't play that. Now, I didn't know him personally, but the stories I've heard, that brother, man, he was amazing. But when you have that type of structure now, how can you stay? He wasn't a pastor, he was a director.
Yeah.
But how can you stay in the ministry and you have been that type of leader and your leadership almost is on the level of pastorship? because you are a pastor of music.
Mhm.
So 30 years, they have been under your leadership, your tutelage. So how do you stay there after being there that long and without that capacity? I don't understand if you can even do that.
And
Wow.
and I saw Pels, if you got some thoughts, I'm coming your way. But
No, y'all keep going.
I saw some recent comments, kind of, one was asking reasoning. And so without going into like a specific scenario, if I can just generalize this, again, my general question here is for a specific reason. Again, a church that you were hired at and you became a member, but for a, let's say, for a valid reason, they felt they needed to remove you from the position they hired you at, but you're still a member. And again, on the other side, you join the church, you hired church, you join the church, and for a valid reason, you felt you need to remove yourself from the area and the position that they hired you from. Hired you for.
Yeah, that's tough.
Again, I start out asking, have any of us considered what that looks like? What now, after being hired and becoming a member, what does it look like when now you're not operating in the role you're hired, but you're still supposed to be a member? Have we thought about what that looks like?
Can I say something about
Yes,
that?
sir.
That's good.
All right, so once again, practicality. It's a relationship. Let's just break it down to bare bones. It's a relationship between pastor and musician. And like any relationship, we all have baggage. Pastors are not perfect. They got baggage just like you do as a musician. You got some things that they're not going to like. They got some things that you're not going to like. But at the end of the day, as Darian said, so for even a valid reason in any relationship, if I can't be what you need me to be in this valid relationship, how we going to be friends if we can't be lovers, and how we going to be lovers if we can't be friends? Come on, let's just break it down to bare bones. It's a relationship. And for what he's speaking of, even though it's meant like, okay, you have a job, 9 to 5. You're at McDonald's. You on fries. You were hired for fries. We can't use you on fries no more. We just need you to sit in the chair right here and watch everybody else. No, you're fired.
Yeah,
you're fired. Yeah. Like if you can't work the fry and you up there putting tomatoes in the fry grease because you trying to chill. No, you're fired. How is that relationship going to go if you're just there?
Talk to us, Bill.
So what's interesting, like, and I want to keep to what Darian's saying about movement. So I was preaching and I was still ministering music. I had already accepted my calling to preach, and it was like more of a demand to get off the organ and be the other preacher when my dad couldn't preach, or to mix it up, because once I accepted my calling to preach and I preached, everybody's like, "Dad, Keith's pretty good preaching." But I'm the minister of music at the church. Like, I'm the head guy there with the music. And it's like, at that time, I'm like praying that somebody else could take this over. And we didn't have the church structure set up where the budget was like, yo, just get somebody in or else. And I wasn't financially set where I could be like, yo, let me get somebody in to do what I can do so I can better help where I think I'm better at.
Yeah.
And I was a member of that church. I was just trying to make a point off of that where it's like, this is a real like sticky. I saw a couple people say the word is sticky. It's a real sticky situation on ideally. And I want to do something different, not now, but I want us to ponder a thought. I would love to converse with everybody and throw in there, like, what would be your thoughts if right now, all of us who are here right now, the people that are watching, let's just say we all met up somewhere and it's like, in this room we have 5 people. You got Cartwright, Pelzer, you got so-and-so and somebody else. They're preachers and they have pastoral experience. And Andre's going to go over the East, Keith going to take the North, and you're going to take there. We got 20 musicians in the room, and we all know each other. We all love each other. We got a drummer, backup drummer, keyboard player, organist, all that. If we all sat in a group, think like football teams or sports. Tremaine said it. He's in the comments. What if we just started ministry right there? Let's put the cross first, definitely. But understanding the production, not in a bad way, of what does service look like. Look at how much different it'll be if we came together. Let's add Niche in there. I see Niche in the comment section. Let's take her expertise on what she knows about. Are we going to be on the internet or not? Yes, we are. Okay, maybe take her advice. Listen to Darian say, are we going to be on YouTube? Because now let's look at what Andre said. Yo, you're one scrolling between, Wheeler Avenue and, and Southern Baptist or, little small church around the corner, and you flick one flick and you at Potter's house. Like, you're going to get sucked under by the production quality of a Stephen Furtick's church or somebody else. Yeah. So if that's your lane, what are you doing? Then how are we in the community? What are we providing in the atmosphere? That's something that, to me, like a Dare to Imagine has put together. They sat down and brainstormed with the elements in place. They weren't already a church that's like, we got to step it up. We need a musician. We need anointed. That's a dumb word. They added it. We need anointed. But basically what you mean, we need somebody real good that everybody thinks is dope. And then we want to lowball them and give them the budget that we have. If we got good money, we want to bring them in, and you might get an AJ. You might get somebody who's real good, but it just don't work for the team. All right. I'm curious of how that looks, because I want to hear everybody's input. I know what God called me to do, but when you're working with people, I'm really tired of the hire fire type thing. Yeah. Like, I understand the job. Like, yes, I think that should be the easy part of the conversation. We know we need to pay you money, right? Because we want to guarantee you can get to the church. Number one. Number two, you are a husband or you're a father or you're a growing single person, whatever. We want to get that part out the way. You're worthy of your hire. The next thing is this a place that you can call home? And I think if we start like that, the lines don't get that blurred when there's an actual relationship. Yeah. I just don't see that now.
Can I add a wrinkle to this? Go for it. So I'm listening to everything, and I'm hearing what my bro D's saying. If I can just add this. If it's that innocent, Dre, you are an anomaly. I'm going to just say that. When you read that, y'all going to understand why. You are an anomaly. If it's that innocent when about joining, and then the musician, for a valid reason, leaves, but he's still a member and decides to stay. If it's really that innocent and y'all don't believe what I'm talking about relationship, how about this? Darian has been minister of music of the Non-Benevolent Baptist Church for the last 10 years. Just saying. He's been minister of music. The choir loves him. The choir knows him. For a valid reason, the pastor has to tell him, Brother Darian, we need to sit you down. God bless you, yada, yada. You can still be a member. So now he's there every Sunday. And I get introduced as the new minister of music.
Oh, Lord.
I put on my Facebook page, I thank God for letting me be now the new minister of music of the Non-Benevolent Baptist Church. How you think folks gonna react? No, let's just, if it's really that innocent. Ain't that gonna be kind of like, are you taking that man's woman? No, seriously. Yeah. If it's not a relationship, let's think of it like that. If it's really that innocent. Everybody knows he's been the minister of music of the Non-Benevolent Baptist Church for 10 years. Right. And all of a sudden, one of his boys is now the new minister of music, and he's there as a member? Most musicians have a code. Come on, let's just be honest. If I know he's been there, or I know he's had a bad situation, There's no way I'm going there.
Yeah.
We just don't do that. If it's not, that's what I'm saying. Like when we talk about, oh, it's just innocent and it's just members, it can't. It's still a relationship. So if he's a member there, even if he's not a member there, he is there.
Right.
So I mean, look.
And I'm glad. I'm glad. Everything that's been said, even in the comments, we had some great comments.
Oh, yeah.
A few more watchers came in. Shout out to A. Jermaine Nixon.
My guy.
Who else did I see?
Tina Green.
Yeah, I think I mentioned Tina before. Frank Taggart and Hakeem Purnell. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Now, Kendall Lewis, thank you for tuning in. Now, the purpose of this conversation tonight, I believe, was just that. The purpose was to actually have the conversation, actually talking about, the instances where, we see kind of what commonly happens to lines getting blurred.
Right.
When I asked those two questions, I am not trying to build a case against the musician, the creative, being a member of the church that they're hired at. Let me repeat that. I'm not building a case against being a member where you're hired. I hope that's clear. I'm not building that case. My case is we're not having these conversations.
Right.
That's my case. We're not talking about the nuances that come along with joining where you're hired.
Right.
We're not. No, a lot of times it's just, it's walls of defense.
Yeah.
It's walls of defense when we want to talk about the nuances. It's the other side of the table is like, oh, why are you so defensive? You don't desire to be pastored. You don't desire to have a covering. You don't desire to be under the word.
Wow.
Right.
I'm building the case that we gotta have the conversation.
Hey,
and that comes with relationship. Go ahead, pals.
No, I'm gonna say some give back to you. I'm gonna tell y'all what I learned. I'm gonna take up for a lot of musicians, man. I've seen pastors say, yeah, these musicians ain't annoying. They getting up, walking out when it's time to preach and stuff. And I'm like, I had to tell one dude, like, you know what? To be fair, because I knew the musician at the time, I'm like, they're under great preaching and teaching. And it's clear you hiring them is after they leave their home church. So when they play for you, I don't want this to sound offensive, but like, they just don't want to hear what you got to say because you ain't saying nothing. Right. I'm like, no, listen, y'all. I hate to say this. I'm like, because musicians, y'all don't want to say it, but I'll say it because I've been in the pulpit and on the organ. Sometimes it's like, yo, if all you going to do is just shout them for 50,000 hours and then say, let's get into the word, and you read one scripture and then prophesy the rest of it, they don't want, like, I ain't mad at him. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get up, like, or unless the protocol is my compensation requires me, or we make an agreement, we ask that you stay here the whole time, cool. But I've seen people just get dragged in, and it's like the agreement really was you paying them for 2 hours worth of work, and I feel something, and your feelings get you into 3 hours, and y'all don't beef up the check. Stop it. Okay, I'm gonna say it for people like, yo, if you want people in like that, like, have a relationship or some kind of openness afterwards. You're not some bougie celebrity that, I pay you this $300, $400, $500 and I need you to show your anointing and humble servantness and, getting the prayer line. Like, yo, honestly, know the difference. Know the difference and know the people that when you engage and hire them, you should know enough about them from where they come from. Me, anybody that played for me that came from another church, I had a relationship with their pastor or wherever their home serving is. I'm in contact for accountability to be sure. Listen, I'm not asking him or her to come out on a Friday night, and I know y'all have Friday night services because they know I'm gonna give a bigger bag. Because I don't want them lying to you. Oh, I can't make it, Reverend. And then you see them on my live stream. Nah, I don't do that kind of stuff. So if I'm pastoring, you playing for me and you playing for Andre at 12 o'clock, yo, we got out at 10:30, so they should be there on time. I'm not holding you. Or I'm going to be like, I feel something. Go ahead, because you going over there. I don't need you to stay. God is faithful. So I just wanted to throw that out there with sometimes when we kind of be judging people, it's like, you ain't saying nothing. Sorry.
So real quick, Pels.
Y'all ain't got to admit it, but I'm keeping it 100.
I just got just one comment. I'm going to let D have it. If you look at a lot of these comments, you are seeing the overflowing of people that are saying this is why they don't join.
Yeah.
As musicians, this is why they're not happy, or they're not comfortable with being a part of the same because they feel like they get mistreated. And in a lot of situations, they do. You have a few situations.
That comment you was just looking at, you read my mind.
You have
We're
a
coming
few
there.
situations where there are.
Got it,
but
Mark.
a lot of times they are, and you just see the overflow of comments, and I'm just reading. I'm like, wow, man, like
absolutely. If you can put Pinky Speaks comment up there,
Pinky.
And I think this is a great question. She said, "Do you think it's because musicians don't want to commit?" If I can answer that question, Pinky, I think there is a segment of musicians that don't want to commit. I think there is a segment of creatives that don't want to commit for various reasons. Some of them immature. Some of those reasons very immature. Not wanting to take accountability and things of that nature.
Right.
In my view, I think a larger segment. It's not that they don't want to commit to ministry. They don't want to commit to confusion.
Right.
That we will commit to clarity.
Exactly.
But a lot of what we talked about is the absence of clarity.
Right.
That's a lot of what we talked about. Now, it's the absence of clarity because of the lack of conversations, and then what becomes birthed, what becomes the fruit is, when expectations easily shift.
Yep.
They easily shift out of proportion.
Wow.
That's the problem we have commitment with. Committing to a situation where expectations shift unreasonably out of order.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well said.
Wow.
Unreasonably out of order.
Right. Right. That part.
And it ain't really a dialogue about when expectations shift.
Right.
No, it's a monologue. It's
a
no, we need you to do this now.
It's Pastor Kevin Petula.
And
making
that's
up,
the thing.
please.
And it's almost like you don't have a say on what to do and how to even do
yes,
it.
King.
I think one of the most confusing things is for expectations that happen without saying how.
Yep.
And I think most of us have been in there where we've been expected to make rain happen, but there's no cloud. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not giving us anything to do that. Yet the expectation has been, and I think that's an excellent point. Is just for real when it becomes drawn out of proportion. Like, whoa, come on.
Absolutely.
How am I do that?
Absolutely.
Hey,
Go ahead, Pels.
I like what
You got
Julian
last word.
said. Like, no, what Julian said is like so dope. Because I was just thinking, this ain't nothing we got. I was really thinking, then I looked at your comment, Jay. It's like for the majority. Even I was at a drummer shed with Jersey, right? And I met a bunch of drummers I didn't even know who they were. And I was like, oh, and everybody, oh, hey, OG, what's up? You know, because gray beard, bald head, whatever. And I'm meeting these young guys and I'm hearing them play. I'm like, dang, these guys are fire. And I'm like, the harvest is plentiful, right? Like, and I'm not going as far as laborers are few. The harvest is plentiful, but it's like most people don't come correct. And I think that what I've seen the musicians that I know, even I don't care what their bad habits are in their personal life, when it really comes to playing, they really want to do it. Right. They want to play with one another. I've seen musicians pastor each other and be like, yo, you know, I can bring you in on this, but you got to get your weight up. Like, you know, I've seen corners of musicians snapping on each other quietly, in love, in secret, like, yo, dude, you know you ain't had your parts. I know Darian don't play that. I seen Darian where it's like, yo, from the singing to the musician, yo, this the intro. Have your part right. You had all week with it. Musicians pastor each other. Are y'all agreeing? Like, I feel it's safe to say, and I think a lot of pastors don't know that. You got to have a relationship with the musicians because most of the problems that you have, you don't even have to argue with the band. All you need is that alpha out of all of them, the one that shows themselves as Peter, James, or John amongst the 12, right? You pull one of them up on the mountaintop and say, yo, this is what I need. And you can trust they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out, especially when you get them authority over the bag. If we're going to say it's safe to say bag, gig, whatever. Right. And you trust their leadership. I only need one point person. I don't care if it's Jay and Darian. I only need one of the two, and they'll handle everything else. You give one guy the whole check, and he distributes it. If somebody don't show up and they had to do an audible, y'all gave me what I needed. I got exactly what I needed. I got the service done. I had drums, I had bass, I had guitar, I had good sound, and that minister handled it. This is how it should operate. Stop playing the position you don't know, right? And show yourself reachable, teachable, and able to teach, right? Prayable and able to receive prayer. Correcting, but able to take correction and constructive criticism. And I think we'll be better. And then we can get back to the main focus of the main focus, which is the cross.
Yeah.
Boom.
Agreed.
We're out of time today. We appreciate everyone who added to this conversation with your comments. A few other watchers that I saw come in: Mitch Nelson, Bishop Shuffle himself, Rakeem Harris, Michelle A. Harris. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, thank you for those who've commented, added so much content and great dialogue to the conversation. We gotta listen. We gotta give this some more time next week. We gotta give this some more time next week. Next week we'll be back on next Thursday, the 29th. All right, next Thursday, the 29th, we'll be back. Hoping to see you. Again, thank you all for tuning in. We have a live.
Anybody put in the comment section if Darian Bristol's ever cussed you out in church for not having something together. Feel free to testify.
Feel free to testify. Overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony.
Come on.
But listen, we got something brewing for later in 2026. We are really going to put together a in-person audience panel. We're not going to live stream. We're going to record it, but we're in the process of getting those wheels turning. So definitely more information to come on that. Thanks you again for tuning in. I'm your co-host D. Brister.
I'm Jay Morris.
Bells.
Yeah, so I guess the same way we came in, we going out. Paris Bowens, once again, stay with me. Love them, miss them, and love y'all. Peace out, peoples. Once again, shout out to the late Paris Bowens. Some great work that was done before he passed away and left us.
I want you to stay. Stay with me. I want you to stay. Stay, don't leave. I want you to walk with me. taken you for granted. And I can't afford to lose you, my love. I want you to talk